Hi everyone, Kelly here. Now today's live coming to you from my little sitting area in my bedroom, which to be honest with you is the only clean part of the house at the moment. My day off tomorrow, a Friday, so the rest of the house is just a disaster. I'm one of those big massive clean in one day persons, good English, Kelly. And yeah, the rest of the week it kind of just gradually gets downhill from there. So looking forward to actually getting it clean tomorrow. But that's not what I'm coming to you live for today. Today, as the title suggests, I want to talk to you guys about cruising with kids. Well, in all honesty, I've only done one cruise before, so that was last year in May. We went on the Pacific Eden on a 10-night Indonesian island hopper cruise, which was amazing. Loved it. Took the kids with us and also took Vicky, my mother-in-law, which, you know, if anyone gets a chance to cruise with family, it's really, really awesome. So it was lovely to have that time together with Vicky. So yeah, we're doing another one in November, which, as you probably saw on my Facebook today, is, I don't know, 100 and something days away. So it's a while away. But yeah, a part of, you know, my keeping myself motivated and keeping myself positive is to have something awesome to look forward to. So just keep reminding myself that I'm off on my cruise in November. But today's live is all about my top tips on what to do, what to take, how to work a cruise with kids. Now, hi Liz. If everyone who's watching live, if you want to drop your favourite emoji below, even like your favorite holiday emoji. So for me at the moment it's the cruise ship. I really love it. So drop your favorite holiday emoji below so I can see that you're here. And feel free, if you know anyone who's going cruising with a family or anyone who is thinking about having a family holiday, I'd love you to share this with them, because cruises are amazing to go on with the kids. So my first tip for cruising with kids is make sure that you take up the kids club. So make sure that you make use of that one, because it is amazing. So the kids will love the kids club, and you will love having time with your other half, with your significant other. So don't be scared about taking the kids to kids club. Don't feel guilty about it. Oh, fingers crossed emoji. Awesome one, Liz. Definitely don't feel guilty about it, because the kids will have an amazing time. They get to meet people like kids their own age. They get to spend time with their peers, meet people from, you know, all over Australia. So the last cruise we went on, my kids made some really great friends from Sydney, and it's great for them to meet people from other places and get to know people like that as well. So that's my number one top tip, is definitely make use of the kids club. Now, what I probably should have talked about before I started is the backgrounding with my family. So we have got two teenage girls. They will be 14 on the cruise, and a 10-year-old girl and a 7-year-old boy. Now, in terms of kids club, on the last cruise we went on, it was mainly the younger two that took advantage of that one. The older kids club on Pacific Eden wasn't too crash hot. Now, I'm not sure what the carnival one's going to be like, but yeah, it tended to just be the younger kids. So Troy and Chantel made use of the kids club there. But yeah, tip number one, definitely make use of the kids club. They are awesome, and don't feel guilty, even if you want to put your kids in it every day, which I think I did. So number one tip. Now, great thing about cruises is that everything is included. So I say make the most of everything. Now, when else are you able to take your kids to, I don't know, like a Broadway show, it's almost, you know, when else are you able to take them to that and not actually pay any extra? So what I would say is make sure that you do take advantage of the shows and the activities and the fun things, because they're included, they're free, and for me, like my family, we kind of don't do too much of that stuff through the year. Like I see a lot of people who are taking their kids to like Matilda and all that sort of stuff, which, don't get me wrong, I would love to do that. Having 4 kids, it is a bit like saying, well, I can do that, or we can go on our cruise at the end of the year, that sort of thing. Now, I am really excited about the stage where I don't have to choose. I can just say, yep, let's do that, and we'll do that as well, like the Taco Girl. We have both. But at the moment, for me, it's one or the other. So we choose the cruise because it's not just a holiday, it's also, getting to see shows, getting to do activities, getting to go and learn new things. So my tip number 2 is make sure that you do make the most of those shows, because they are amazing. They're so awesome. And take the kids and go and watch a show and let them experience that stuff that maybe they wouldn't experience otherwise. So that's tip number 2, is take them to see the shows and do some activities with them. Now, tip number 3. This is one thing that we learnt on the last cruise. It's set boundaries, especially with the teenage children. So the great thing about cruises is that it is one ship, and the older kids have a bit of flexibility, a bit of freedom on the ships. Someone just knocked at my door. That doesn't happen often. I might see if they will. I'll just go and have a look. Let's see who's at my door. But yeah, so one thing that they do have is that freedom, the flexibility, that sort of thing. Oh, it's all right. They just left a package. I'll get that later. I thought it might have been that. I had an order coming. So yeah, no, not you, Liz. So the mistake that we made in the last one, we had one night where we didn't set those boundaries and just took for granted the fact that, our daughter, Alyssa, would know the fact that, she needs to actually come back to the cabin at a certain time at night. Now, our mistake, we didn't set those boundaries at the start. We didn't tell her, you have a curfew, you need to be back in the cabin at a certain time. So we were sitting there, and it was one of the nights where we wanted to go to bed a bit earlier. That didn't happen. So I was sitting up in the cabin waiting. I think it was like 11 o'clock at night that Alyssa got back to the cabin. So tip number 3, I don't even know what number I'm up to, doesn't matter, is set the boundaries to start with. So what I intend to do this time is say that there is a curfew. You need to be back in the cabin at a certain time of night, because they do have that freedom. I don't mind them, having a bit of a wander, chatting to their friends. They make so many amazing friends in those cruises. That's totally fine, going out and having a wander, but, there are still... It's not entirely, safe. They do need to have those boundaries and check in with us. I know they will be a year older as well, which would be great. But yeah, so set the boundaries to start with, especially if you have teenagers. Now with the younger kids, of course, Kids Club, I made it so that they aren't allowed to sign themselves in and out. So Chantel and Troy, they're in Kids Club until I went and got them out of Kids Club, because they're younger. But the older girls, they at least like to go and take a book and have a read somewhere and stuff like that. Unless they like to wander around the ship and hang out with her friends and stuff. So set the boundaries. One thing that I also would recommend is having a meet-up point, because those ships are huge. Now the one that I went on last year isn't nearly as big as the one we're going on this year. They're huge. So if you don't have like a certain meet-up time point at a certain time of the day, I could go all day without seeing the kids and not knowing what's going on and not knowing they're safe, that sort of thing. So what I would recommend is have a meet-up place and a meet-up time. So at this time every day we meet back in the cabin and we go over what we're going to be doing for the afternoon. If we want to hang out together, if we want to have dinner together, and set that all up and go over that. So that way you can check in with the teenagers at a certain time. It's also great for when other families are together, because this cruise, not only do we have the amazing Vicky coming with us, but we've also got my brother and sister-in-law, Lisa and Rennie, and their kids coming. So having a point where we all meet up at a certain time of the day at a certain place, then we can say to each other, all right, what's your plans for the afternoon? Did you want to go and have dinner together? Awesome, let's do that. Do you want to go and see a show tonight together? No, you want to go do that? Totally fine. We'll split up then, whatever. So number 4, whatever, tip number 4 is have that time, especially with teenage children, where you meet up at a certain point at the same time every day, and if they don't meet up at that point, they're busted. Busted, tusted. I also, at the last one, we had walkie-talkies, which they're okay. They ran out of batteries pretty quickly, and if it's not actually on, if the other person doesn't have the walkie-talkie on, there's not really any point talking into it because they're not going to hear it anyway. So I'm a bit undecided about that one. We might take it this time, but last time I think it's just better to have a meet-up point at a certain time of the day. So at the end of this, I'm going to give you a list of all the things that I reckon are great to take on a cruise because, trial and error from last time. But yeah, one tip that I would really emphasize, and this is the amazing thing about going on a cruise with the kids club there, is take the opportunity to actually spend some quality time with your other half, because when other times in the year do you have a babysitter that is available from 9 in the morning until 10 o'clock at night? So take the opportunity to have a couple of nights where, you go and get the kids dinner early, pop them in the kids club and go and have a beautiful meal with your other half. Like, that is the thing that I'm looking forward to the most, I think, on the cruise, is spending some time with Corey, actually being together, doing fun things together, like going and watching a show together or going and having a couple of drinks together and not having to worry about booking a babysitter or, all that sort of stuff. So that is definitely, make sure that when you're on the cruise, have some time together, because, you don't get to do it all the time. On that note as well, our cruise is 9 days long. So one thing that I didn't do last time, which I really was thinking would be great this time, is actually spending some one-on-one time with my children. Because, you get told, how to create great relationships with your children is to do one-on-one things with them, and, having a mum-daughter date and a dad-daughter date and a mum-son date, all that stuff. Yeah, all good in theory, but sometimes fitting that in is hard, and, having that time to spend one-on-one with each child and, either leaving the other kids at home or getting them babysat or whatever is hard. So spend some one-on-one time with each child while you're there, because, that way you're building those relationships. They're going to remember that forever. Oh, good tip, Corinne. Work your way through the cocktail menu. That is a great one. I will do that on the next one. I'm pretty sure I did it on the last one as well. We don't have a drinks package this time, so going to have to save the pennies for that one. But that is another note as well. For the kids, I am definitely going to be getting the soft drink package. Now, we got it included last time. We have to pay for it this time. But I really don't want to be stressing about whether they're swiping their card here, there and everywhere, buying, getting soft drinks and, spending up and, sort of chalking up the bill on their swipey card thing. So I'm going to get the kids a soft drink package this time, because that way I really don't want to be saying no to them all the time. Now, of course, I don't want them drinking soft drink all day, and, they do still need to, have to ask me before they have one, the little ones especially, but I don't want to have to be saying no to them all the time because of money. So definitely going to be getting the soft drink package. So one-on-one time with each kid, go and do something fun. Go and take them to I don't know, are kids allowed to go to bingo? Not sure. Go take them to something fun, do something that they want to do Even if it's going to the spa and getting your nails done or something like that, one-on-one time with each kid is fantastic. So next tip that I have down there is, no, that's it. That's all the tips I have. And the last part is just a little list of the things that I found really, really helpful last time when I went on the cruise, and also the things that I didn't take last time and I thought, you know, would be really beneficial next time. So first thing on my list is those, they're octopuses in IKEA, but you know those peg things that are like round and they've got the pegs attached to them that people sometimes hang underwear on and stuff? Highly recommend. Last time we did take one. This time I think we'll take or 2 or 3 or even like 4, because they're fantastic for hanging the bathers up. So hang your bathers up, and then the kids got trained to like hang their bathers up as soon as they took them off. So that way at least they're semi-dry next time they want to wear them again. So those little hanging up, you know, peg clippy things that people use for socks and stuff, highly recommend them, because you can hang them in the bathroom, hang one over the shower if you want to, and your bathers are getting dry. And then if you do want to do some hand washing of knickers and stuff like that and not have to go down to the laundry, you can do that as well and hang them out. I mean, I found that amazing last time, and I don't know what people did if they didn't have those, because the rooms are not big enough to like hang them over. You know, you don't want to hang wet bathers over chairs and stuff like that. So that's definitely a must-have on a cruise, especially if you've got kids coming with you. Now, number 2, thermos mugs. Now, they don't have, unless you get like a really fancy room, I suppose, but there's no kettles and tea making facility in your actual room. So you have to go to, on Pacific Eden they call it the pantry. I'm not sure what it is on Carnival. We're going on Carnival next time, but you have to go down to the buffet area to make yourself a cup of tea or coffee. Now at home I need about 4 cups of tea before I'm even, you know, functioning and talking. I love my tea. So this time I am going to be taking a thermos mug with a lid, just because it's so much easier. I like to have a cup of tea in my room. So I know, yes, I will still have to go downstairs and get it, but if I have a thermos mug, 1, more fits in it. 2, it's got a lid, so you're not walking around like, you know, on rough sea or going up the elevator and stuff and, you know, risk spilling your tea on someone, because that would be horrible. So definitely going to take, I'm not sure, I think I might take one for everyone, because there's hot chocolate and stuff that the kids can have on the Carnival one. So I think that's definitely something I'm taking next time, is a thermos mug, because I really, you know, even if you want to go and, you know, make a cup of tea and then stand and, you know, look on the ocean and stuff like that, I think it's lovely just to have something with a lid on it. And on that note, wide mouth water bottle. So it didn't matter last time because, as I was saying, we had a drinks package, but water bottles you do normally have to pay for. So what I'm thinking this time is a wide mouth, and the reason why I want a wide mouth one is because you aren't actually allowed to, it's unhygienic to fill your bottle up at the little dispenser thing, because obviously your mouth touched the bottle, you don't want to be putting your mouth on something, that's how germs spread. So you use a cup, and then you can just pour it into the wide mouth water bottle. That just means that you're not buying water bottles all the time. Save that money, because the water that you get out of the tap's obviously really nice, you know, up on the deck out of the water dispenser. So that way, saving money on, you know, buying water, because I'd rather buy alcohol. Because I'm on holiday. Go with the alcohol. So next tip, coins for the laundry. So I can't actually remember how much it took. So just $20 worth of coins for the laundry. That way, I mean, I only did 1 lot of laundry last time, which I probably will only do 1 lot this time. But yeah, it just means that you don't have to worry about going down and getting it changed or anything like that. You can just head to the laundry, do your washing, put it in the dryer, and Bob's your uncle, you're all done. Post-it notes. I didn't take this last time, but I think it'd be a really great tip, especially just to let people know where you are at the time. So just pop a little post-it note saying just going down for breakfast or whatever, because Vicky in the morning will always go up and have a smoke. That's what she does, onto the smoker's deck. And then, sometimes we'd be like ships in the night, and she'd be in one elevator, I'd be in the other, and we wouldn't know where each other is. So at least if we have the post-it note on the door that just says, hey Vicky, just gone out for breakfast, see you down there or whatever, then, at least everyone knows where you are. Dress-ups. What I would say is never, miss the theme nights. They are so much fun. The last one they did like flash mobs and stuff and taught us how to dance. It was amazing, really, really fun. So one thing that Vicky and Cora and I did, and the kids, we all went op shopping together and looked for costumes for the theme nights. Now that was almost as much fun as the theme nights themselves, just going op shopping. And I know the one that we're going on this time has an 80s night, so where else do you go for 80s clothes but an op shop? Yeah, super fun. So that's my I suppose that is a tip, but I want to say make sure you do take the dress-ups, because if you forget and you do want to join in, sometimes they don't have any for sale on the boat. You're on a boat, and if they do, wow, they jack up the price. Something that you could buy for like $2 in a normal shop would be like Mexican night and 80s night. Cool. So op shopping for that. Awesome. Yeah, so you don't want to buy it on the ship. You want to buy it before you go. And where else do you have time? Do you have the opportunity to dress up with your family, have a bit of fun, be a bit silly, that sort of thing? So my tip: op shopping for the costume nights. So one thing that we didn't take last time, my boy Troy is quite a sensitive soul, and getting him to bed at night is a bit of a challenge normally. And every night at home, we read him a story. Now, we forgot to take storybooks to read him before bed. So that was a challenge for us. I don't want you to have that same mistake. If you have a kid that has a story read to them before bed every night, take a couple of books, especially their favourite ones, the ones they want all the time, because we didn't have them last time and it was a challenge getting Troy to go to bed at night. So definitely take some books with you if you have a kid that needs a book before they go to bed. Definitely a must-have, and we definitely learnt from that one. So, of course, books for yourself. You're going to have time to chill. You're going to have time to relax. And if you have kids who have a daytime sleep, you kind of have to be in there with them. So you may as well get some time to get some reading done, or, craft or whatever, something that you like doing and that, normally you might not have a chance to do. An over-the-door shoe organiser, really, really handy. They are quite small, those cabins. So if you have something that when you walk in the door, that's where the sun cream goes. That's where your key thing goes. That's, it's a spot for everything, the walkie-talkies, whatever. At least you haven't put it down on a table and you're like, where is it? What have I done with it? At least you know that that's where it's going to be, and you've got like a tiny little table. There's no room to put everything that you need, so just shove it in the little pocket things. Now the one I got was a bit dodgy, didn't stay on very well, so I'm going to get a better quality one next time. But yeah, definitely worthwhile. Pop all your stuff in those little over the door shoe, or with the pocket things. They're really, really great. A torch or a nightlight if you have a child that doesn't like sleeping in the dark. Those cabins are very dark, especially if you get an inside one. They are very dark at night time. We ended up last time having to leave the bathroom light on and opening it, but it's still really, it's almost like really, really bright or really, really dark. So if you have a child that needs a night light, take one with you, because you don't want to have the light on all night, because if you're anything like me, I can't sleep when it's that light. It's quite a bright light, so have like your bit of an in-between, a night light. Laundry stick thing for hand washing, if you just want to wash like your knickers or kids' clothes or whatever, just underwear, and bit of a wash, hang it up on your little octopus hang-uppy thing that I recommended. Washing, a dirty washing bag or something. I mean, of course, just a plastic bag will be fine, but I always say make sure you have one assigned. And another tip that I just remembered off the cuff, I actually, every day before we left the cabin for breakfast, I just went around and tidied. I know they've got amazing people who come in and clean your room for you, but my kids were the worst for it. The girls were really bad. And you leave stuff lying around, you trip over and it's really bad. So what I would say is just spend, it's even 5 minutes every day, just hanging clothes back up or putting your shoes, in a certain spot, so that for me, I was so worried that Vicky was going to trip over the girl's shoes and end up hurting herself really badly. So that's one thing that this time we're going to have a meeting before we go and say, because for us, we've got me and Troy and Corey in one room and then the girls and Vicky in another. So I'm going to have a meeting with them and say every single day you need to put your shoes in a certain spot and pick up your clothes off the floor, because it can be a disaster. After that many days, it is a disaster area in there after a while. So that's my little extra tip, extra bonus one. Card games and activities for in the cabin, if you want to have some quiet time in there, is really, really handy. Troy had last time. He loved it. Just a side note, on the last cruise that we went on, there was some intellectually challenged men on there. So one of them, Troy's favourite, he loved this guy because I think he was 23, but he had the mental age the same as Troy. So he loved playing with Troy. It was awesome. Troy was like, he's so cool. He's like an adult, but he's also like a kid, and I love him, and it's so awesome. So it was great for Troy to have the cards to play with him, because it was really amazing. And so Troy really loved that. Now, drugs. Seasick tablets are a must. Now, we didn't take enough last time, and there was one day, now it's not a horror story or anything, but there was one day where the swell was 6 metres. The ship was going like this. Just about every single person on the ship, apart from Corey and Vicky, I think, ended up getting sick. So what I would recommend is take with you more than you think you'll use, because again, super expensive in the gift shop, and when it's really bad, they get sold out, and you don't want to be without it. So the one that I took, and I was just taking it every night until I got cocky and stopped and then got sick, was Avamine, which, as long as you take it at night time, makes you a bit drowsy, but take it at night time, slept like a baby, and then wake up in the morning and I was fine. So next time I'm definitely going to take that one again. And for the kids, I can't remember which one we had for them, but it was like one that kids can take. So definitely make sure that you take more than you think you're going to need, because running out of that was not fun. We also took like Hydrolyte, little tablet things for when we were sick, so we could rehydrate. And also when you're on holiday, sometimes you don't drink enough water, so that was really good it was great for the hangovers as well. So good tip, because I did have a few of those when I was there. Drinks package, it was free. Now, first aid kit with band-aids and stuff like that's always going to come in handy. So yeah, that's pretty much what I would recommend for going on cruising with kids. And most important thing is just do it, because they're amazing, so much fun, and I know that I'm going to have a great time. And awesome thing about it is you pay a deposit and then you pay it off before you go. So it's not even like you have to have the money all to start with. You just pay the deposit, figure out how much you have to pay every week before you get there, pay it before the time. I think for us it's like August that we've got to get it paid by, and then it's all paid for, and then you just start saving for the alcohol. So thank you so much. It was a bit of a long one today, but I just have so much to say on this subject. I love cruising. I love cruising with kids, and I'm ready to book the next one before I've even gone to that one. I'm looking at the moment. So have a fantastic day, everyone, and love you all, and see you later.